It's just made sense. Why? Do I need to explain? I feel like those that know me, you know me. If you know, you know. Those that don't, well, you know, you'll learn.
Other people, I'm sure. The Supreme Court has held repeatedly, Senator. I don't think it would be.
What can you tell them, brothers, to keep it going?
If you can't keep your opponents from scoring, just outscore them.
Just talking tonight. Just talking tonight. Nothing.
And once again, it's on. Welcome to Just Made Sense. I'm your host, Just. That's capital J, lowercase u, lowercase s. Of course, that's short for Just Us. Capital J, lowercase u, lowercase s, lowercase t, lowercase u, lowercase s. If you know the government, Justice Rogers. Social media at Justice Rogers TV. JUSTUSROGERS TV. IG, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Find me. Let's chop it up. Just Made Sense podcast. We're here once again, folks. Episode 15. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being here. I want to give a shout out to everybody that expressed and showed their support on last episode, episode 14, where I talked heavily and deeply about my nonprofit organization, Laces for Lupus. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's shown support. Either send a text, email, call, voicemail, tweet, DM, Facebook message, whatever your source of getting to me was. I just want to make sure you guys know you are appreciated, and I want to thank you. You guys are keeping me encouraged, and I'm enjoying the process, and we're making a lot of ground and making things happen already. So I want to just give a shout out to everybody to let you know I appreciate you. And please continue to support Laces for Lupus. That's at Laces4, number 4 Lupus on social media, Twitter and Instagram. LACES, number 4 LUPUS, Laces4 Lupus. Laces, number 4 Lupus, Twitter, Instagram, social media. Give it a follow. Check out, see what we're doing. Got some things in the works. First and foremost, I want to send my prayers and best wishes to some of the residents out in California. It is fire season. I've been seeing in the news and online, social media, Twitter, and all that good stuff that the fires are starting to blaze up. In California, it looks like above the Santa Rosa area. I love Santa Rosa. Beautiful area, California. Had to drive through Santa Rosa and, of course, past the Bay Area to drive and move up to Oregon in the Portland area. But I definitely want to send out my prayers and best wishes to everybody there, hoping everybody stays safe. I know Cal Fire is up there, and I'm sure a lot of EMTs and a lot of emergency services trying to gain control of that fire and help people so they don't lose their homes and houses and, valuables and things like that. So I definitely hope everybody is all right up there and that those fires will get put out soon. And you guys are all on my mind, especially that being my home state. I'm sure I've got some friends or friends and or family up in that area where the fires are ringing off right now. So I definitely hope you guys are all right and hope that fire is put out real soon. In other news, I saw from the New York Times earlier this week, the Bulletproof Memorial for Emmett Till was erected once again after it was vandalized. So that's sad. That's not good to hear. Looks like after being vandalized and shot at numerous times, the memorial for Emmett Till in Mississippi was removed and replaced with a new bulletproof sign honoring the 14-year-old who was murdered in an act of racial violence back in 1955. If you don't know the story of Emmett Till, I suggest you Google it. Very sad, very traumatic. This happened during a time when we were fighting for civil rights, and it's a very, very serious story, but a story that I believe anybody, if you're not aware of it, Google Emmett Till and how that happened and get your knowledge up. But basically what happened is they put up a new sign where the old sign was, if you can see the picture online, if you look it up, it was riddled with bullets. People had vandalized it. People that probably were against the civil rights movement and against equality. And instead of showing love to this memorial, they damaged it. Somebody shot at it, or some people shot at it and put multiple bullets into it. And so they replaced it with a new memorial that is hopefully, at least what they say, is made of steel weighs about 500 pounds. And the person or the company that manufactured it says it's bulletproof. And from what I've read, this is the fourth sign that they've had to replace. Hopefully it's the last. One thing I do think is great is that a memorial like this, they're doing their best to make sure that it stays in good quality, make sure that it's not damaged in the future. And I definitely appreciate that. Someone who learned and continues to learn and appreciates Black history and those who fought for our civil rights in this country. I definitely appreciate the work that's going towards keeping this memorial taken care of so that people can see it, and it could be a great learning tool for those that not only don't know the Emmett Till story, but want to know about it and want to even visit, a landmark. I'm one of those people that I'm really into museums, into landmarks and visiting things that mean something to not only my people, but my culture and those that were here before us. So I think that's a great job. I'm hoping that vandalism doesn't take place any longer at this memorial here in Mississippi, but I do want to commend those that were responsible for making a new memorial and a new sign and just putting forth an effort to make sure that people know exactly what happened there in Mississippi, and they want future generations to be able to not only benefit from learning, but be able to share with others so that they could have knowledge of what happened back in 1955, and even, what continues to happen, not only in America, but other places where people are not only murdered, but harassed for the color of their skin and for things that are out of their control. We don't decide how we look. We don't decide how we're made. We don't decide who our parents are. We're just born and we're here. And so, of course, it's sad that even in 2019, hate like that is still spread, not only nationally, but internationally. But I do want to do my best to spread love, especially to those who may not feel it. And we all definitely do want to feel loved and appreciated, no matter what color our skin is, no matter what our views are in life. We definitely love is definitely the answer for sure. So I do want to give a shout out to those that took care of that sign and made sure everything was restored and that was taken care of. So shout out to those working on that in the state of Mississippi, and even the descendants of Emmett Till, those who are still alive that come from his bloodline and his family. Definitely a big shout out to them. Now, let's talk about something fun. Recently, I've been on Netflix. I've been on Hulu. I've been in the search of new great shows, new great movies, maybe that I haven't heard of or that I haven't watched. Lately, I've been watching the Wu-Tang thing on Hulu. It's the mini series, the mini bio. I don't know what to call it, mini bio series about Wu-Tang, which I do want to say the actors in it and actresses, they're doing a great job. I'm pretty sure the series is based, if not the early 90s, the late 80s, right before the 90s, when the guys started to meet each other and whatnot. And for all you hip hop heads out there and anybody who's like me who loves 90s hip hop and the golden age of hip hop and all those classic groups and artists and beats and clothing, just that entire moment that was 90s hip hop, I think you would probably enjoy this Wu-Tang miniseries where they basically are telling the story of how the Wu-Tang Clan was created, coming out of Staten Island and even Brooklyn with other members of the group. And a good amount of the actors I think they have maybe one or two real rappers, current rappers in it, and then the rest are all actual actors and actresses that RZA brought together for the miniseries. But so far it's been great. I just finished the finale yesterday, episode 10, and I don't know when I guess they're going to do a second season, or maybe it's done and they're going to release it in the near future. But after episode 10, I was ready to go on to the next season, and I guess Hulu's a little bit different compared to Netflix. I believe Netflix still does the thing where they give you like all the seasons at once or all the episodes at one time, where Hulu, it looks like they're a little bit slower with their releases, because I even think with the Wu-Tang mini-series, bio-series, whatever you want to call it. They only put a new episode out every Wednesday, so it's not like you could just watch the whole. I mean, you could binge watch if you haven't, seen it from episode 1. But if you've been like me and you've been watching every Wednesday, like it's a real show on TV, there's no more episodes. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when the next episode or next season begins, but I've got to episode 10 and I'm in every Wednesday. I do look forward to watching it. So if you're into rap music, or if you're into 90s culture and that type of thing, even if you're not a fan of Wu-Tang and you're interested in learning about a rap group from back in the day, I would say you would enjoy it. I know I definitely do, as someone who's into not only hip hop music from the 90s, but just that time and that culture. So many classic moments from that decade. So yeah, I would definitely check it out. It's on Hulu. I don't think it's available anywhere else. I know they have like trailers and stuff like that on YouTube, but pretty much an all black cast. So of course you already know I'm behind that. That's something to support. It's not too crazy, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm learning some things that I didn't know about the group, even with knowing their albums and discography and the history and things like that. So really interesting. It looks like they shoot it on location in Staten Island and in New York and in Manhattan, in those areas. So that's cool. One of my sides of my family is from New York and from Staten Island. So that's definitely cool to see that energy. But check it out. If you need something to watch online, you need something to stream. I don't remember the name right now. It just slipped my mind, but I'm sure if you just type in Wu-Tang on Hulu, it'll come up. And I believe it's 10 episodes are available right now. But that brings me to, I do need some recommendations, though, as far as movies go and maybe TV shows for Netflix and Hulu. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were putting me on to some shows that I've never watched before, but I've heard good things about. They said they're either pretty funny or they're enjoyable. So if you have any recommendations for Netflix, Hulu, that might be it. Netflix and Hulu. Feel free to send them to me. If you're on Twitter, Instagram, you could either send me a tweet on Twitter, or you can send me a DM on Twitter, or on Instagram, you can send me a DM as well. Send me a direct message, and I'll definitely check that and look into whatever you send. Now, for the record, before you send, because I don't want to be bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not even interested in. For those that don't know, I don't watch. I'm not into anything too serious. So, if it's a crime show, probably not going to get into it. I mean, if it's action, like a Marvel show or something like that, I might check it out depending on what, group or what hero it is. Cause I do like, Marvel and, those type of things. Those are pretty good action packed movies and shows from what I've seen. But if it's like, a CSI type show or a Law and Order type show, it's a snooze fest for me. I know a lot of people enjoy it, so I'm not gonna diss it. I'm not gonna hate on it. But for me personally, those shows are just kind of boring to me, and I'll probably end up falling asleep, to be honest. So please, no serious crime shows, no, I don't know, whatever those shows, whatever that genre is called, of the shows where they take you through a whole homicide case or whatnot. Hey, life is real enough for me. I'm good. Appreciate it. Also, please, no recommendations of horror movies, scary movies, whatever you want to call them. I'm good on those. I like to laugh. Here's the thing about me. When it comes down to watching TV, movies, if it's not sports, I either like to laugh or I like to learn. So it's really only those two. So if it's like a documentary or something like that, you think I might like, that has to do with either sports or has to do with the music industry or movies or something like that, I'll probably most likely enjoy that. If it's something that's funny, if it's a comedy special that maybe I haven't watched, which Netflix is really good about that. They have some really good comedy specials on there. It almost seems like they cater to comedians. They have a lot of specials on there, and there's some that I have on the list that I haven't watched yet. That I probably should check out, but every time Chappelle puts out a new special, I check that out on Netflix. So if there's a comedian that you might not think I'm aware of, send it my way. Yeah, send me a DM, send me a message, a tweet, whatever works for you. Or if you see me in person, let me know when you see me in person. But I know Bill Burr has a new comedy on there. I think Joe Coy has a new comedy on there. I don't know who else, but yeah, love comedy, love to laugh or learn. So documentaries, comedy specials, funny shows, sitcoms, those type of things. Feel free to suggest, send a recommendation my way, and I will let you know what I think. If it's trash, I'm going to let you know it's trash and that I did not enjoy it. If it's great, I'm going to let you know it's great, and I will encourage you to continue to send me a recommendation. So definitely Hulu or Netflix. I mean, if you see something on YouTube or whatever, or Amazon, let me know. I'm more heavily on YouTube, Hulu and Netflix when it comes to streaming long form, movies, comedy specials, TV, documentary, all that good stuff. And speaking of movies, I'm really interested. I do want to see that Will Smith movie, Gemini Man. It looks really interesting. I haven't heard anything about it. I don't think anybody I know has gone to see it yet. I might need to double check. If you have already gone to see it and I know you, please send me a text or something. Let me know what you thought about it, because if it's not good, I'm definitely not going to throw away, however much it costs to go to movies nowadays. But the only thing that's interesting that I realized about this Will Smith movie is, I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems like it's not as hype as, usually it is when Will Smith, I think everybody loves Will Smith for the most part, or they at least love one movie that he's put out in the last, 20, 30 years or whatnot. But it just seems like there's not a whole lot of hype around it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the movie studio he worked with on this one, or if this is just maybe he's getting older and not as, popular. I mean, I would say even before the movie came out, I've been seeing a lot of ads for it, a lot of trailers for it all over either Twitter or Instagram, and they keep showing the commercials on YouTube and whatnot. So they're definitely doing a lot in marketing, but I haven't heard I haven't heard good or bad reviews, so I don't really know how to judge it. But I do know I want to see it. I haven't seen a Will Smith movie, I don't know, probably in years. I couldn't tell you what his last movie was. I would say I've pretty much seen the majority of them. I think the only one I haven't seen or watched is probably he came out with a movie, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago now. Some movie on Netflix, and I think he's a cop, and it's like in the future he's dealing with aliens or something like that. I haven't watched that. I heard it was bad, but maybe I should watch it just to see how, so I could judge for myself. But I do want to see Gemini Man. And it's crazy. I think he has like 2 movies in theaters right now, either one and then like a possible. I think I saw a trailer for some Disney movie I want to say he's doing, a Disney, looks like a kid's movie or something like that. He did the voice of a bird or a pigeon, or I don't know, something like that. But anyway, Gemini Man, if you've seen it, let me know how it was in your opinion, because I definitely do want to go see that. I do love a good movie, and I couldn't tell you the last movie I saw in theaters, now that I think about it. And that's one I still enjoy Will Smith's acting. I put him up there with the Denzels, Sidney Poitiers, the classic actors that pretty much every time they're in a movie, it's usually either really good or, it's the opposite. So I definitely want to see that. Also, I want to give a shout out to my man, Jesse Cash. Great guy, great TV guy, worked under him and for him, through NBC. And, he got me to really, how do I say this? 'Cause this is going to sound weird and I don't want people to judge me on this. Okay, I'll just start off by saying this. I've never been a big coffee drinker. Never been. Growing up, never drank coffee just because I always heard it stunts your height. I wanted to be tall. You get the idea. I didn't drink coffee because I wanted to grow, wanted to, be as tall as possible. Didn't drink coffee, middle school, high school, probably, I don't even think I drank coffee in college, to be honest. And then it wasn't until I started working in TV that I realized that everybody drinks coffee. And Jesse Cash, man, this guy, he really gave me like and it's not like people in my family didn't drink coffee. Like both my parents are coffee drinkers. My brother drinks coffee. I mean, almost everybody I know, or the majority of people that are close to me, are coffee drinkers. So I don't know why it took me so long to really get into the flow of it, but I must say, now I'm in the flow and I'm mixing it up. I literally had a conversation with somebody on Instagram, like, I don't know, early this week, talking about like different creamers and different type of brews and, I'm not going to say I'm a coffee pro or expert, but I've definitely come a ways from where I used to be. And I do want to give a shout out to a super producer, super assistant director, Jesse Cash, because, man, I had some coffee the other day, boy, and it was good. It was really good. And I made it myself, threw some creamer in it, and it was good. And it's funny, I'm not a hot coffee drinker. And I think that's just because I don't like hot drinks. So I'm not in, I don't like to drink tea hot. I don't like to drink, I like hot chocolate, but I'd rather it not be super hot, where it's like burning, as you're trying to sip it. And I don't like hot coffee. So I only like my coffee cold, where it's like, I guess the slow brew or the, what do they call it? Oh, iced coffee. I do like iced coffee. I almost said I don't love iced coffee, but I do like iced coffee. And so, I recently, realized or learned, I guess, some of the different ways that you could have iced coffee and it tastes, still good. Like you don't lose the quality and things like that. And, it's just interesting because I don't think I ever imagined that I would, and it's not like I drink coffee every morning. I don't drink it every morning. I'm not one of those people. I don't have it every day. It's not a, guaranteed thing, but I have really been enjoying when I do have it. And I want to say it was either this week or last week, I even went to Starbucks. And I'm not a big fan of Starbucks just because, I don't need the shots and the extra, syrup and cream and whatever all that stuff is they put in Starbucks drinks to make it like 2,000 calories for one order or one drink. I'm not into that. I'm good. I don't need the extra. I just need the basics. And even when I went through the drive-thru, the lady was asking me what I wanted. And I was like, do you guys just have like a coffee? It's like cold, but it's still kind of sweet. And I don't even, honestly, I don't remember what they gave me off the menu, but it was good. But that's how the opposite of knowledgeable I am when it comes to even ordering coffee. Like I didn't even know, looking at the menu, I couldn't even tell you. Like I know what an iced coffee is, but I wanted it to taste a certain way, and I didn't want the extra, whatever they throw in the coffee to make it super caffeinated so that, you're bouncing off the walls and whatnot. But whatever I got, it was good. So I should have wrote it down because I don't know what to get. I probably should call my mom or send her a text because she could probably tell me because she's definitely a coffee and hot drink expert. But listen, I'm also open to coffee recommendations and suggestions. If you have ideas or your favorite type of coffee, please feel free. Tweet me, send me a DM on Twitter, send me a message on Instagram on what coffee you like, and I might give it a shot. But if it's hot, I don't want it. So if there's a cold coffee that you like to drink, like an iced coffee or I think they call it a cold brew coffee or something like that, feel free to recommend. I'm definitely open to trying it because when I do have coffee, I do enjoy it. Every once in a while, I have it before I work out, or I'll have it if I'm up in the morning, but I'm not fully, when you wake up and you're not fully awake, you're kind of just dragging, you're dragging through the house, dragging to the bathroom, dragging, trying to get ready for your day. I will have coffee on one of those days just for like a little boost. And I can feel the boost, and it works. So if you got a coffee that, you like that's not hot, because I don't want hot. If it's iced coffee, cold brew coffee, whatever they call it, feel free to recommend. I'm definitely, I'm open to that because I've been enjoying it lately. And I'm one of those people where if I could make it at home, I'd rather do that. I'm not a big Starbucks. I'm not a big, what else is out there? I don't know, Pete's Coffee, not a big Coffee Bean. Whatever, coffee, joints are in your neighborhood or, around your area. I'm not big on going through the drive-through to get coffee. I don't feel like it's that serious. I don't want to drive somewhere to go pick up some coffee or get out the car and go inside. And, I don't want to do all that. But if I could make it at home and, make myself the quantity and that I want and throw the creamer in that I want or throw as much, sugar or sweetener or whatever you put in there, I'm good with that because I can control it and I don't have to go anywhere. I make myself a glass or make myself a mug and I'm good to go. I can go lay back down in bed or, go outside and do something and I didn't have to, waste gas driving to Starbucks or something like that. So feel free. If you do have a recommendation, suggestion for a certain type of coffee, certain flavor, drop me a line. Let me know what you think, because I am definitely open to that. Also, I do want to announce we do have some very, very special guests coming up in the next few weeks here. Next week, we are going to have a good friend of mine and somebody with some great fitness tips as we go into the end of this year. She'll be coming up next week. Matter of fact, I want to say a early happy birthday to her. I want to give a shout out to Mary. We're going to have Mary on. She's a personal trainer, and we're going to get some tips. We're going to talk about even her fitness journey, how she got into it. And I feel like she has a lot of knowledge in this area. She does this on a regular basis. This is her gig. And she's if you happen to follow her, I definitely will give out her social media and have her give the best way to contact her if you need advice or need suggestions and recommendations on workouts or diet tips and things like that when we chop it up next week. But we're going to have Mary next week for sure. After that, we will have my man John G from Adidas here in Portland, chop it up, talk about his journey, how we got into shoe designing, how he came all the way from New York to the West Coast, to the Pacific Northwest to be specific, in the Portland area. We'll chop it up about that. Me and him had a great conversation today. The shoe he designed this past year was seen on the floor a few times this week as the NBA season started on Tuesday. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Laker Nation, all my fellow Laker fans out there, everybody supporting the purple and gold. We look good, man. We look good. We lost our first game, but we did win tonight, and we looked even better. And I know we're going to have a great season. LeBron is great as always. Anthony Davis looks good. For those that hate sports, just ignore this portion. Ignore this part of the show. Because this is where I have to just root for my Lakers a little bit. But we look great. And so I'm definitely doing my best to represent up here in the Portland area, because the Blazers rule around here. And, I gotta show my support for the purple and gold, for Laker Nation. And I think we're gonna be good. I think we're gonna be good. So hopefully we have a good season. But I'm doing my best to catch every game. And, hopefully we won't look as bad as we did last year. I mean, we didn't have a terrible season last year, but of course you want to improve. And so I'm definitely grateful and thankful that basketball season is back. Not even watching football, not watching, I don't know what else is happening in baseball. I think the World Series just started. Houston and I think DC, the Nationals, Washington Nationals, I think, are in the World Series. I got to check on that. If my Dodgers aren't in it, I don't care, so Dodgers, we got a lot of work to do, but right now it's NBA season. It's Lakers' time to shine, and we definitely will. So NBA season, I want to give a shout out and prayers and best wishes to the few guys that I do know that are in the league right now. I want to definitely keep you guys in my prayers and thoughts, that you guys have an injury-free season, and that you guys have a great season, that you guys are able to make some good money out there on the court and be able to show your stuff, as well as my guys in the NFL. I want to give a shout out to DJ Reed. We had him on the show. I believe it was either earlier this year or last year. You can catch him on the 49ers, who are undefeated right now. So he's on an undefeated team in his, I think, second year in the league. I think this is his second year in the NFL. Number 32 on the 49ers, DJ Reed. He is a DB, defensive back. I want to give a shout out to him. Definitely prayers and best wishes for him on his season. He's playing lights out right now, and he's representing for not only the state of California, but everybody back in the Valley and in Kern County and Bakersfield, to be specific. I want to shout out to my man Mercy Maston, who's up in Canada, playing in the CFL, Canadian Football League. He was definitely somebody that coming up through college. He had a great career, and even playing, I think he was signed by the Eagles earlier this season. And so definitely, even above the border, I want to give a shout out to all my friends and partners that are playing professional sports, even collegiate sports, friends and family that are doing that. Definitely hoping you guys have a healthy season, healthy training, all that good stuff, and that you guys can enjoy the sport that you chose to play. But as always, once again, it's been Just Made Sense Podcast, episode 15. I'm your host, Just. That's short for Just Us. Capital J, lowercase U, lowercase S. TUS, because it's not just me, it's not just you, it's not just them, but it's all of us. It's just us. You can catch me on social media at Justice Rogers. That's JUSTUSROGERS TV. Justice Rogers TV. JUSTUSROGERS TV on Twitter, on Instagram. I am on Facebook, not that active, so if we're friends already, then we're friends. If we're not, I'm probably not going to check my friend requests. I do probably, maybe once a month. I'll get on there. As always, you can check out the podcast. If you're hearing it right now, you're probably either on Apple Podcast app, maybe iHeartRadio app. You can check us out on YouTube as well. Just search Just Made Sense. Also, the YouTube channel is Justice Rogers TV. You can find all the episodes of Just Made Sense available on there. I want to give a shout out to all the new listeners, all the old listeners, everybody that's been sticking around, supporting, listening, streaming. I appreciate you guys. I want to appreciate my guests that I've had in the past and future guests that'll be coming on to chop it up and talk about what they do and how they do it. And I just want to thank you guys for the support. Just Made Sense, episode 15. I'm your host, Just. You guys have a good one. Peace.